Hey my friends, welcome back to my recap laboratory, where entertainment is the #1 priority. Today, I'm continuing the recap of Squid Game Season 2, Part 3. If you haven't seen the previous parts, you can find the links in the description. In the previous part, Gi-hun and his team successfully passed the six-legged pentathlon, where they had to play 5 different mini-games. Meanwhile, No-Yul was reprimanded by the officer for interfering with their organ smuggling operation.
There's no way anyone's going to find out about it, and even if they do,
That's not my issue.
Then what is it, huh?
Back in the dormitory, Thanos' minion is upset that so many players survived the game. Frustrated, he orders player 125, Min-soo, to count how many people made it. However, a girl on their team, named Simi, stands up for Min-soo, which irritates Thanos' minion.
Hey, hold on, don't be an idiot. Why bother counting? Those masked guys will come in and tell us soon anyway.
Just shut the f up, bitch, okay?
Stop it.
Before things escalate, Thanos steps in. He struggles to remember his minion's name.
You're both the same age. Right, Nam-soo, you're 97?
Nam-gyu.
Yeah, Nam-gyu. Weren't you born in 97?
Yeah.
Likely a side effect of his constant use of his Infinity Stones. Thanos prohibits his minion from ordering Min-soo around. Meanwhile, members of Hyunju's team bond and get to know each other better. Hyunju reveals that she needs the prize money to complete her transformation.
There are still a few surgeries I'm waiting to get done.
What type of surgery? That kind of surgery.
The conversation is interrupted as Gi-hun's team enters the dormitory.
More of these assholes made it through?
Most players, except Jung-jae, are visibly disappointed that they managed to survive. Gi-hun thanks the frontman for helping him during the Jeegi game. The team discusses their incredible success in the mini-games.
Me? What about you? You were a Gong Yoo machine, like all in one move, like someone from a kung fu movie.
The Marine guy reminisces about his childhood, growing up with 4 sisters. Curious, Jun-bae asks him why his mother sent her only son to the Marines. The question makes him pause, as if he's unsure of the answer. After a brief moment, he claims his father was also a Marine, and he wanted to follow in his footsteps.
So your father was a Marine too, then?
Hold on, sir. Sorry, but please excuse me a second.
Quickly changing the topic, he suggests that everyone formally introduce themselves.
Pak Jung-bae means righteous and double.
Kang Dae-ho. Dae as in huge, ho as in tiger.
When it's the frontman's turn, he lies about his name and introduces himself as Young-il, which literally means
01 in Korean.
That's crazy. Your name's the number you were given.
Seriously, Gi-hun, haven't you learned anything from Il-nam in the first season?
And what's your full name? I just know you as Gi-hun.
When Gi-hun says his own family name, which means hero in Korean, the frontman bursts into laughter. Meanwhile, all the soldiers return to their quarters. When No-yul enters her room, a couple of soldiers storm in and begin beating her. At the same time, one of the superior staff members in the control center erases the camera footage. The soldiers rip off No-yul's mask, mocking her appearance.
That should be some kind of freak under the mask. But check out the face on her, huh?
Despite her attempts to fight back, they overpower her, cutting her face and threatening to cut off her fingers if she continues interfering with their operations. Back in the dormitory, the staff announced the results of the second game. A total of 110 players were eliminated, bringing the total prize money to 20.1 billion won. Each remaining player would now receive almost 79 million won if the games were terminated. Despite the increased prize pool, many players remained disappointed by the amount.
I'd get more if I let some stranger beat the shit out of me.
The staff initiate another voting process. Before the voting, Jun-jae invites her teammates to her home for dinner after the games, confident that everyone will vote to terminate. She believes that her and her son's share of the prize money will be enough to pay off all Yeong-seok's debts and even open a small farm stand.
Don't get any dumb ideas now.
In Gi-hun's team, everyone initially agrees to vote against continuing the games. Gi-hun even promises to help each of his teammates financially once they leave this place. This time, the voting begins with player 1. The frontman votes to end the games and changes his patch to X. However, Yeong-seok shocks everyone, especially his mother, by voting to continue the games. The shaman also presses O to continue. Thanos and his minion are eager to play another game, and they pressure Min-soo to vote O as well. Hyunju votes to continue, leaving her friend devastated and afraid.
Please don't do this. I want to go home. Just let us out of here. I just want to leave and go home.
Gi-hun is about to call on everyone to reconsider, but the frontman interrupts, echoing Gi-hun's own words from the previous voting session.
Use your heads for once. Take that and get out. You need to survive. Then you can think about the future.
Jung-jae, meanwhile, steps up as an informal leader of those voting O. He delivers a fiery speech, reminding everyone how much money they stand to gain. His growing leadership skills convince more players to vote in favor of continuing the games.
One more game! One more game! One more game!
The frontman glances at Gi-hun, silently conveying that every attempt to dissuade the players will only backfire. As the voting continues, more players vote to press O. By the end, the result is decisive. 139 players vote to continue, while only 116 vote to quit. Gi-hun feels defeated and hollow, realizing all his efforts were in vain. Jung-jae also pressed O and feels guilty for betraying his team's decision. Myung-gi surprisingly voted X, determined to protect his pregnant girlfriend. Geun-ja confronts her son, telling him not to call her mom anymore. Young-sik admits he lied about his debts. He reveals that he owes 100 million won to an illegal casino and has been threatened with organ harvesting, his eyes, liver, and kidneys, if he doesn't repay the money by next month. And I'd like to ask my Korean viewers, what's the situation with the organ market in your country? Is it really as bad as it's portrayed in the series? It seems like organ selling and harvesting are shown as disturbingly common in South Korea. Please share your thoughts in the comments. Now, back to the story. Geun-ja's anger fades into sadness. She tells Young-sik that she knows he'll be fine if she dies, but if he dies, she won't be able to go on. Later, the Marine drags Jung-bae to join the team during their meal. Jung-bae, feeling guilty for pressing O, tries to excuse himself. The frontman reassures him that his vote wouldn't have changed the outcome. Relieved that his teammates aren't angry, Jung-bae promises that they'll win the next game together.
Jun-hee, during the next game, I'll personally make sure you don't get hurt.
What if in the next game, we have to kill each other to win? What then?
The frontman tries to cheer up Gi-hun and motivates everyone to stay positive as they prepare for what's ahead. Back to Geun-ja. She asks Hyun-ju why she voted to continue the games, assuming it's because she needs the prize money for her surgeries, as she hasn't completed her transition. Hyun-ju admits that everything was fine until she told everyone who she really is. After coming out, her father cut off all contact with her, her mother couldn't stop crying, her friends stopped calling, and she was eventually let go from her job. Despite that, she still needed money for her surgeries, and her debts began to pile up.
What was the job before they let you go?
I was a soldier.
She adds that if she makes it out alive with the money, she plans to move to Thailand.
Oh, Thailand. You know, I've actually been. And there are lots of other folks like Hyun-ju there. I mean, tons. Seriously, the people I'm talking about, they're on a whole nother level. Gorgeous bodies, like super hot.
Yeah, apparently it attracts some really beautiful people.
Honey, you're beautiful.
In the bathroom, Thanos and his minions confront Myung-gi, angry that he voted to end the games. Thanos points out that Myung-gi's current share of the prize money wouldn't be enough to repay the debt he owes to Thanos for his cryptocurrency losses.
And who knows? You could take home the whole 45 billion.
I get my money back, you're free to go. And you get your life again, yo.
Whoa. In order for me to win all the prize money, you'd have to die. And why would I bother paying back a corpse? How do you memorize raps if you're so dense?
Myung-gi mocks Thanos, bringing up his infamous rap battle loss when he forgot his lyrics during the finale. Furious, Thanos is about to attack him, but the frontman, Jung-bae, and the Marine guy enter the bathroom, diffusing the situation and putting Thanos on edge. After Thanos leaves, the Marine guy offers Myung-gi a place on their team if he's still having trouble with Thanos, but Myung-gi declines. Before the lights go out, Gi-hun suggests his team sleep under their beds, explaining that players are allowed to kill each other between games, which adds more money to the prize pool. He also proposes they take turns keeping watch during the night. Later, Geun-ja decides to go to the bathroom. Worried about her safety, her son offers to escort her, but she confidently shows him a knife hidden in her hairstick. Jun-hee volunteers to join her, and together they try to persuade the guards to let them use the restroom. Initially, the guards refuse, but after persistent pleading, they relent. At the last moment, Hyun-ju joins them. On the way, Jun-hee admits that she has no parents. Geun-ja predicts that Jun-hee's due date is very soon. Overwhelmed by fear of the games, Jun-hee begins to cry. Hyun-ju feels deeply guilty for voting to continue the games. Meanwhile, Jung-bae joins Gi-hun during the night watch. He apologizes for not helping Gi-hun 3 years ago, when Gi-hun asked him for money to treat his sick mother. Curious, he asks Gi-hun why he returned to the games despite having all the prize money from before. Gi-hun explains that he came back to ensure everyone else could leave the games alive. To lighten the mood, Jung-bae recounts a humorous story from their time together during a car factory strike, when they fought to save their jobs.
You were lying there next to me, asleep, and suddenly you started talking. I'm so hungry, Mom. Give me some food. Please, Mom, help. I'm starving. You kept going, just bawling your eyes out in your sleep.
I started crying in my sleep.
Mm-hmm.
Begging my mom for food.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the reason you didn't walk out.
This fake story makes Gi-hun laugh, and for a brief moment, he feels like his old self again. The two talk and laugh, reminiscing about the good old days. Back in Seoul, the search team decides to split into two groups, each on separate boats, to expedite the search for the mysterious island. In the morning, the announcer wakes the players for the next game. Thanos and his minions swallow their Infinity Stones, making the game more entertaining for themselves. Semi warns her new friend, Min-soo, never to try those substances. She supports him and admits she trusts him, believing he would never betray her.
Young-mi, I'm sorry.
It's alright, Hyun-ju. As long as we work together, I'm sure we can win this one, get out, and have that dinner.
The players are brought to a playground surrounded by doors, with a large carousel at the center. The game is called Mingle. All players must step onto the spinning platform. After a short while, a number will be called out, and the players must quickly form groups matching that number, enter one of the surrounding rooms, and close the door within 30 seconds. The game begins, and the platform starts spinning. When it stops, the announcer calls out,
10 players!
Gi-hun's team merges with Hyun-ju's group, and they quickly secure a chamber. Gi-hun peers through a small window in the door, watching as guards eliminate those who failed to find a group. The shaman, meanwhile, starts yelling her cryptic declarations, directing her gaze at Gi-hun and the pregnant girl.
You've lived longer than you were ever meant to, and now I finally see why. You're here for a reason. You were drawn by destiny.
Back in the arena, organ-smuggling guards mark a coffin for an eliminated but still alive player. This time, no Yul doesn't intervene. Instead, she silently watches, secretly rooting for the father of the sick little girl. During the next round, as most players tremble in fear, Thanos and his minion dance on the spinning platform, high from their Infinity Stones. When the announcer calls out 4 players, many teams are forced to exclude one member to meet the new group size. The frontman volunteers to leave his group, calmly stating he'll find someone to team up with. In stark contrast, Thanos brutally Sparta kicks one of his teammates out of the group. Hyun-ju's team chooses to leave the shaman behind, shocking and offending her. Through surveillance cameras, guards discover a room containing only 3 players.
It's okay. I don't think they noticed.
A number that doesn't match the rules. Those players are promptly eliminated. When the players emerge from their chambers, Gi-hun's team breathes a sigh of relief upon reuniting with the frontman, alive and well. The shaman, however, survived and shoots her former teammates a scornful glare for betraying her. In the next round, the announcer calls for groups of 3. Thanos orders Semi and Min-soo to play rock, paper, scissors to decide who will join him and his minion in a chamber, but the girl refuses to compete with her so-called friend. Instead, she proposes that they team up and find a third person together. She extends her hand to Min-soo, but he unexpectedly flashes scissors as if playing rock, paper, scissors, symbolically choosing Thanos over her. Meanwhile, Yeong-seok and Jung-jae desperately search for a third teammate. Before they can find someone, 2 strong players drag Yeong-seok away, ignoring his pleas to stay with his mother. Jun-jae freezes in shock, unable to process her son's betrayal. In that moment, Gi-hun and the frontman pull Jun-jae into their group and rush her into a chamber. Inside, the frontman gently asks Jun-jae about her son, but she starts scolding him, fiercely defending Yeong-seok as the kindest person she knows. After this round, many players lose faith in those they once trusted. Yeong-seok feels guilty for leaving his mother behind, but she comforts him, assuring him everything is okay, even as he bursts into tears. In the next round, Hyun-ju's team realizes Young-mi is missing.
Where's Young-mi?
She was knocked out while running toward the room with her team. Hyun-ju wants to help her, but she is shoved into the room by MG Coin, who joins their team at the very last second, making the group's number correct to pass the round. From the small window, Hyun-ju watches helplessly as Young-mi is eliminated. Heartbroken, she realizes that her earlier vote to continue the games has led to the death of this kind and vibrant girl. Hyun-ju screams at MG Coin for taking Young-mi's place.
That's not true! The door was gonna lock! The second you went out, they would have shot you like they shot her! Then we'd be down 1, and the rest of your team would have died too! I saved your lives! Don't you understand that? All of you! Tell your friend it's true! Just admit she was gonna die!
Jun-hee supports MG Coin, acknowledging that he's right.
You wouldn't make it back in here.
When they exit the room, MG Coin thanks Jun-hee for defending him.
Let's not get confused. All I did was say you were right.
In the following round, the frontman predicts that the next number will be 2. He reasons that with only 126 players left for 50 rooms, the game's rules require fewer rooms than groups. As soon as the announcer calls
2 players,
the frontman grabs Jung-bae, and they both sprint toward a room. Thanos grabs his minion, leaving Min-soo behind. Chaos erupts as pairs fight for the limited rooms. Jung-bae is knocked down by another player, and the frontman rushes back to help him. In a desperate move, the frontman drags one player out of a room to free up space for himself and Jung-bae. When the door closes, the frontman notices there's an extra player in the room. To avoid failing the round, he ruthlessly breaks the player's neck, leaving Jung-bae stunned and horrified. After the game, the players return to the dormitory. Thanos and his minion compliment Min-soo on choosing them in the last round. They begin pressuring him to vote to continue the games, suggesting they play one more round to increase the prize. Meanwhile, Myung-gi proposes to Jun-hee that they start over once they get out. Instead of offering to help her with the child, he suggests using their winnings to pay off his debts. He assures her that afterward, he'll find something less risky to invest in.
Pay off your debts with your own damn money. Because I'm gonna use mine to raise our child.
What a loser. Observing their interaction, Thanos and his minion realize there's something going on between Myung-gi and Jun-hee. Still angry about being betrayed by her team, the shaman approaches them and claims to have cursed them all. Honestly, shouldn't she be thanking Hyunju first for saving her during the six-legged pentathlon?
No! If you give up now, I'll kill you before any of your damn gods can.
Meanwhile, Gi-hun's team discusses their odds of winning the next vote. Gi-hun suggests trying to persuade some of the O's to change their minds, but the frontman warns him it's too dangerous. Some of them, he explains, are willing to do anything for money. The suggestion infuriates Gi-hun.
What do you suggest we do then? Just keep our mouths shut and pray everyone over there changes their vote?
And the two begin to argue. They are interrupted when guards enter the dormitory and announce the updated prize total. 356 million won per player. Gi-hun's team speculates that the amount might be enough to sway some of the O's to change their votes. Meanwhile, the searching squad launches a drone to expedite the search. The captain, unfamiliar with the technology, is fascinated by the machine and bombards the team with questions.
It's a drone.
Drone? Ain't that something? When we used to go out, you always had to keep checking your binoculars. Climb all those cliffs just to get a look at an island.
The drone spots a hatch on one of the islands, and the team decides to land and investigate. Back in the dormitory, the voting process begins, with Gi-hun casting his vote first. To everyone's surprise, some of the O's change their minds and press X. Thanos and his minion pressure Min-soo again, demanding he press O.
O gang for the win! Let's go!
Min-soo, just one more game. Yo, he and I had a little chat earlier. One more game, right, dude? $1 billion and then we leave.
Despite their intimidation, Min-soo votes to end the games. Jung-jae grows uneasy, fearing the frontman might vote O. He's about to reveal to Gi-hun what happened during the last game, where the frontman killed another player to secure a win.
I'm worried about Young-il.
However, the frontman votes to end the games, causing the votes to split evenly. The guard announces that according to the rules, the players must vote again the next morning. The guards leave the dormitory, giving the players the night to reconsider their decisions. The searching squad lands on the island and approaches the hatch. Two mercenaries open it, triggering an explosion. The team is startled, except for the captain, who remains unfazed. One mercenary is killed in the blast, and another suffers minor injuries. The captain suggests retreating to the mainland, but the squad commander insists on continuing the mission. Woo-seok points out that the game organizers seem to be anticipating their moves, setting traps along their path.
We use a new radio frequency every day from now on. Cell phone use is completely banned.
Is that clear? Yes, sir.
Back in the dormitory, players are served dinner. Like the previous season, they receive drinks in glass bottles before the inevitable fight. Gi-hun tries to ask Jung-bae about what he was going to reveal about the frontman, but Jung-bae avoids the conversation.
You know, Young-il, I thought for a second there, you'd vote like the first time. I got so anxious when you went up, I couldn't watch anymore. Because earlier, Jung-bae kept trying to tell us his weird story.
Hey, come on, eat your food. Aren't you hungry?
The dormitory divides into two factions, the O gang and the X gang. The X's discuss ways to convince some O's to change their minds. Young-seok invites the O's to join their side, offering a delicious meal after the game's end. In response, the O's mock the X's, calling them chickens, which infuriates Daeho. In retaliation, Daeho shows his Marine tattoo, but the O's laugh, accusing him of being a fake Marine. Tensions escalate as the two gangs line up against each other, ready for a fight. It dawns on Gi-hun that the organizers are orchestrating a massacre, just like in the previous season. He notices a fork in his meal and realizes it could be used as a weapon in the impending chaos. Meanwhile, in the restroom, Thanos and his minion attempt to corner Min-soo to pressure him about the next vote. Min-soo locked himself in a toilet stall, trembling with fear. Thanos tries to convince him, claiming it's their destiny to press O. Myung-gi intervenes, declaring it unfair to force players to change their minds. He shouts to the entire restroom, exposing Thanos and his minion for threatening an ex-gang member. Enraged, Thanos rallies his O-gang for a fight.
Hey! Listen up, okay?
Thanos and his minion provoke Seong-gi by making crude remarks about his pregnant girlfriend, pushing him over the edge. A fight breaks out, with tensions boiling over into chaos. Thanos scores a solid takedown, pinning Seong-gi to the ground and choking him. In a desperate move, Seong-gi stabs Thanos in the throat with his fork. Horrified, Seong-gi crawls into a stall, trembling as he realizes he's just killed a man. During the fight, Thanos' minion grabs the cross containing the Infinity Stones and kills one of the X-Gang members. Outside the restroom, armed guards eagerly wait, showing no intention of intervening as the players kill each other. In the dormitory, the announcer begins calling out the numbers of the players eliminated in the restroom.
Player 268, player 299, player 331.
And adds the corresponding cash to the piggy bank. The players in the dorm are shocked, unsure of what this means.
What's going on?
Gi-hun and the frontman immediately realize what has just transpired. Moments later, the surviving players from the restroom storm back into the dorm. Thanos' minion tells his gang that the X-Gang initiated the attack on them. The two factions begin arguing about who started the fight. Player 100 proposes recounting the remaining players to determine which team has the advantage for voting. After the recount, it's revealed that the O-Gang lost more members during the brawl. The X-Gang celebrates their newfound advantage, but Gi-hun grows uneasy, realizing a massacre will occur when the lights go out. Meanwhile, on the boat, the drone operator feels nauseous and steps out to feed the fish. While outside, he notices a light emanating from the cabin where their equipment is stored. As he approaches, he catches the captain tampering with the drone. Realizing he's been caught red-handed, the captain stabs the drone operator and throws him into the sea. It turns out the captain is the mole. Hearing the commotion, Woo-seok goes out to check, but the captain calmly explains that he also heard a noise and found nothing suspicious. Successfully deflecting suspicion, the captain convinces Woo-seok to go back to sleep. Back on the island, with No-yeol no longer intervening, the organ smuggling operation proceeds without disruption. The officer orders his henchmen to keep a close watch on her. He then enters the control center and orders the guards to prepare for the special game planned for the night.
Attention! The special game will begin momentarily.
In the dormitory, Gi-hun gathers with his group. He warns them that the O-Gang will attack as soon as the lights go out. The front man suggests they strike first, but Gi-hun refuses to play by the rules of this bloodbath. Instead, he proposes a different plan, to attack and get to the front man, unaware that he's sitting right in front of him.
There's a man in a black mask who's the head of the operation. If we can get to him, we finally can end this.
Gi-hun devises a strategy to steal guns from the guards and fight back. His plan involves hiding under the beds during the chaos between the two factions, ready to sacrifice other players to achieve his goal.
Hold on, if we do that, the rest of the X's won't have much of a chance. Without us there to help them fight, they'll be outnumbered.
I know, but if we don't keep our heads down tonight, it's gonna ruin our entire plan.
So what you're saying is, sacrifice a few for the good of the rest.
The front man notices a significant change in Gi-hun's character. The once principled man now seems willing to step over others for his mission. Struggling to hide his satisfaction, the front man realizes Gi-hun is starting to change. 5 minutes before the lights go out, Thanos' minion swallows a couple of his Infinity Stones, preparing for the impending fight. Jun-hee pleads with Seong-gi to hide somewhere safe when the fighting begins and to stay away from the scuffle. When the lights go out, Gi-hun's group quietly crawls under their beds, remaining hidden. As the O-Gang launches an attack on the X-Gang, Gi-hun's group patiently waits for the chaos to subside. Min-soo, trembling with fear, grabs a glass bottle and climbs onto the highest bed. From above, he watches in horror as Thanos' minion attempts to kill Sae-byeok. Summoning his courage, Min-soo throws the bottle to help his friend but misses. Paralyzed, he can only watch as Sae-byeok is killed, covering his ears to block out her screams. The officer orders an end to the special game, and guards storm the dormitory to break up the fighting. While the guards are busy breaking up the fighting players, Gi-hun's group slips out from under the beds and pretends to be dead. When the guards start scanning the bodies, Gi-hun's group ambushes them, sparking a firefight. Despite the chaos, Gi-hun's group eliminates nearly all the guards without suffering any casualties. The officer orders the remaining guards to retreat and seal the entrance. However, one guard is trapped inside, and the players take him hostage. Tensions run high, as one member of Gi-hun's group suggests executing the O-Gang for their actions.
Don't you see what they did? Just look around! They're not even human anymore!
But Gi-hun intervenes, refusing to escalate the violence.
We didn't take these guns so we could use them like this.
Hwang orders the group to collect guns from the fallen guards and begins shooting out the surveillance cameras. Gi-hun calls on any willing players to join him in storming the control center. Seong-gi is about to join the group, but Jun-hee discreetly gestures for him to stay behind. 3 more players volunteer, but Yeong-seok is stopped by his mother before he can join. Switching the walkie-talkies to a new channel, the group arms the newcomers with guns. Hwang notices some players struggling to handle their weapons and steps up to give a quick tutorial.
This here
as an MP5 submachine gun.
Dae-ho's awkward handling of a gun reveals his inexperience, confirming he's not a real Marine, as he had claimed.
You really know your stuff. Where did you learn all that?
I was a sergeant in the Special Forces.
Gi-hun orders the hostage guard to remove his mask.
Jesus Christ. Your mom and dad know what you're doing in here, kid?
And demands he lead them to the control center. The group begins their mission. Over the intercom, the announcer warns the rebel players to return to the dormitory or face elimination. As they progress, they encounter reinforcements, and a gunfight erupts. Myung-gi, surprisingly skilled, eliminates almost all the attackers single-handedly. The group pushes forward. The hostage guard gives Gi-hun his mask, explaining it's needed to bypass the control center's security system. The guard recognizes the front man among the rebels, but before he can say anything, another guard kills him. During another firefight, Dae-ho fires wildly without aiming, wasting precious ammo and further proving his inexperience.
There! Don't waste your shots! If you shoot blindly, you'll be empty soon!
While the rest of the group holds off the guards, Gi-hun and Jung-bae rush toward the control center. Using the guard's mask, Gi-hun gains access to a corridor leading to their destination. They encounter 2 more guards, whom they quickly eliminate. While searching the dead bodies, Gi-hun notices that the guards have extra ammo in their pockets too.
They have extra ammo in their pockets.
The officer orders guards to secure the stairwell, preparing for the rebel players' next move. After a prolonged firefight, the group begins to run low on ammo. Gi-hun and Jung-bae radio the rest of the team, informing them that the guards have extra ammo in their pockets and urging them to retrieve it. The frontman takes 2 players and heads out to assist Gi-hun and Jung-bae, while Dae-ho volunteers to return to the dormitory to gather ammo from the dead guards. Out of bullets, Gi-hun risks his life by running into the line of fire to collect ammo, while Jung-bae provides cover. Gi-hun successfully retrieves several magazines and retreats back to their position. Meanwhile, Dae-ho storms into the dormitory.
Our ammo ran out. It's in their pockets. I need you to help me, okay?
And, with Yeong-suk's help, collects ammo from the guards' pockets. However, as he steps outside, he hears the gunfire in the distance and freezes in fear. Hyun-ju radios him, asking what's wrong and reminding him that they're out of ammo.
Where are the extra magazines? Are you on your way?
Unable to overcome his fear, Dae-ho drops his walkie-talkie and retreats back into the dormitory. Hyun-ju decides to check on him. The frontman and 2 other players eventually find Gi-hun. The frontman tells Gi-hun he will attempt to find another way around the guards. Gi-hun hands him his last magazine.
Are you sure, Gi-hun? It's okay, take it. Dae-ho's coming.
Although reluctant, the frontman takes it and moves ahead. The frontman successfully flanks the guards and orders the 2 players with him to attack. Just as they are about to eliminate the guards, the frontman shoots both players in the back. He radios Gi-hun, falsely claiming they were ambushed and failed. Switching to the guards' frequency, he orders them to finish off the rebels.
Let's wrap things up.
And heads toward the control center. Hyun-ju storms into the dormitory and finds Dae-ho trembling in a corner. He begs for her forgiveness. Without hesitation, she grabs the magazines he collected and prepares to return to the group. However, more guards enter the dormitory. As Hyun-ju prepares to open fire, Jung-jae stops her.
This isn't a good way to die.
Back in the hallway, only 3 players remain. One, overcome by despair, commits the unthinkable with his last bullet.
Don't do it!
The remaining 2 surrender, but the guards eliminate one of them. The sole survivor, the father of the sick daughter, is approached by No-eul.
Wait, please don't shoot. I have a sick daughter at home.
She points her gun at his heart, but after hesitating, shoots him in a less lethal spot. Gi-hun and Jung-bae are also forced to surrender. The frontman approaches them, now wearing his gray uniform and mask. Mocking Gi-hun, he asks if he enjoyed playing the hero. He points his pistol at Gi-hun and coldly tells him,
"Now, witness the consequences of your little game."
The frontman then shoots Jung-bae in front of Gi-hun, forcing him to witness the horrifying act. Gi-hun collapses in grief, screaming as the frontman walks away. With this, the 2nd season of Squid Game concludes.
Player 390 eliminated.
If you enjoyed my recap and would like to see my analysis of this season, or hear my thoughts on the next season, let me know in the comments. I'd love to create a special video for you with tons of hidden details you might have missed. I'll also share my theory about the series as a whole. Thank you for watching. See you next time.